Lament of the Cursed Bride. In the misty highlands, far removed from human civilization, stood an ancient mansion known as the Black Manor. Even the surrounding forest was draped in an unnatural silence, as if the very trees were paralyzed by the malevolent forces residing within. The villagers whispered that every year, on the new moon night following the Vesak Hoya, a haunting lament and a chilling laugh echoed from the manor. It was the restless spirit of Soloman, a beautiful young woman cursed 2 centuries ago. Soloman was once the most beautiful maiden in the village, betrothed to a young nobleman. However, on the eve of her wedding, her own sister, consumed by jealousy of Soloman's beauty, conspired with a dark sorceress. They performed a gruesome ritual and forced Soloman to drink a potion brewed from human blood and lethal venom. Dressed in her pristine white wedding gown, Soloman collapsed and died in the dark confines of the manor's basement. But her death was not a peaceful transition. In her final, agonizing moments, she spat out a terrifying curse. "The agony I have endured shall be felt by every creature of flesh and blood that dares to set foot in this mansion." From that moment on, she transformed into a bloodthirsty, vengeful entity, her soul warped by a thirst for human gore. Years later, a group of young explorers, oblivious to the manor's dark history, arrived at the gates. As night fell, the atmosphere shifted. The walls began to weep, oozing a dark metallic liquid that resembled blood. Suddenly, a heavy wooden door creaked open on its own. Inside the room stood a female figure in a tattered white wedding dress, her back turned to them. Her long, jet black hair trailed across the floor like tangled vines. One explorer, fueled by nervous curiosity, approached her and placed a hand on her shoulder. In an instant, her head snapped back 180 degrees to face him. The skin on her face was peeling away in necrotic patches. Where her eyes should have been, there were only hollow, pitch-black voids. Her mouth was torn open from ear to ear, leaking warm, thick blood. Instead of a human voice, she emitted a guttural, bone-chilling growl, a sound that was a mix of a rabid dog's snarl and the wet, squelching rasp of a rotting corpse. When she smiled, her teeth appeared like jagged, rusted blades. One explorer tried to bolt, but her arms elongated unnaturally, reaching across the room to wrap around his throat. Her blackened nails sank into his flesh, sending a searing heat through his body. She leaned into his face, literally inhaling his breath as a foul stench of decaying flesh filled the air. Though the others fled, they realized there was no escape. She was everywhere, clinging to the ceiling one moment, emerging from the solid stone walls the next. She toyed with them, inflicting maximum psychological and physical torment before the final strike.
Finally, a single young man managed to stumble out of the manor, the only survivor. Reaching the safety of his home, he rushed to the bathroom to wash the grime from his face. As he looked into the mirror, he gasped. His pupils had turned a dull, lifeless gray. Suddenly, his reflection flickered. His own face vanished, replaced by the horrific, blood-stained visage of Soloman. She had not merely killed, she had claimed him. Through her curse, she had inhabited his body. He no longer felt the need for food or water. Instead, an agonizing hunger for fresh human blood began to claw at his insides. He turned away from the mirror and looked at his unsuspecting family members in the next room, his eyes now those of a starving predator. The curse was not broken. It had simply found a new vessel to walk among the living.